All right. I was wrong. UFC 308 had some crazy finishes, a wild card, and we're going to be talking about the main and co-main event. That's what we're spotlighting on this upload. And as Max Holloway would say, is what is. People like to jump at me and say, oh, Mystical, your predictions, blah, blah, blah. Still 63% on the prediction rate. And this is for a lot of events, 142 wins, 84 losses. On the card that happened on Saturday night, it was UFC 308, and I got 8 right and 5 wrong, which was about a 61% win percentage or pick percentage, whatever you want to call it. Overall, I've been doing very well, and on a bad night, 8 right, 5 wrong. Listen, nothing to brag about, but that's the worst you're going to get from the Mystical Mas. Now, before I get into the Khamzat Chimaev win and the Ilia Topuria win, let's talk about Shara Bullet really quick because it's hard to dismiss the brilliance of the knockout that happened on Saturday night, UFC 308. Here is a video that someone put together. It's floating around Reddit. This guy, Moonsault Slayer, on Twitter posted it. There's a bunch of reposts. I don't know who the person is. If you know who posted this, drop it down in the comments section because I would love to know who put this together. This is nuts. Check this out. Tekken and Shara Bullet. This is mind-blowing. The kick flies in. Petrosian backs up. Now, I mean, even down to the black trunks and the red trunks. This is nuts. Shara resets. It's like they fake the knee in, and as that comes in, it goes into the spin, and the right hand comes back, and then the left hand follows, exploding on the face, and then both drop. I mean, that is absolutely wild. So now we know Shara Magomedov, Shara Bullet, is a real problem. Let's move on to the co-main event. Here's Khamzat Chimaev taking the back of Robert Whittaker, and there's an image of his teeth concaved. Robert Whittaker, that is. We'll show it in a second. But here is the back control. Rob is begging for mercy. Khamzat drilling in shots. And as he's doing so, Rob is keeping that hand up, trying to protect his face. Khamzat peels the hand down. Goes for the choke, but cranking over the mouth. This is insane power over here. As he tugs on it, we got this in super slow motion. Khamzat's ready to lock this thing up, and Rob doesn't waste any time. He's like, whoa, tap, 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 tap. Like, as soon as Khamzat rolls forward, Rob is like, tap, 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 tap. Now, when we were watching this in real time, I was like, what the heck happened? Why did he tap so quick? I personally believe that a couple of the strikes that happened before loosened up the situation, and then when he cranked on it, well, that really concaved the jaw. Here's an image of the jaw, and I mean, yeah, you can see it's like the Devin Clark situation where the teeth got pushed in. Same thing as Rob. Now, Rob did make mention that this is an injury that was previous to the fight, another situation where a fighter goes into something and has an injury and it just gets worse. Here's Khamzat talking about it.
Yeah, they showed it for me, but I felt something was wrong with his chin when I pushed it. So, but I feel bad for that. So, it didn't mean to broke somebody's chin, but it's my work, make somebody pain and make me happy and my family.
So you could feel it when you grabbed it?
Yeah, when I pushed it, when I felt some clicks.
When he pushed it, he felt some clicks. I personally believe, yes, Rob came into this fight with wobbly teeth. He got cracked a couple of times, and then the crank really amplified the situation. I tell you what, listen, say whatever you will. The way that Khamzat leaped on this man's back and took him out, pretty wild of a finish. First round, running through Rob Whittaker. Now, I want to say this. When I make my predictions, I don't just pick all the favorites. That's an easy way to get a high percentage in your predictions. I like to look at value in predictions, especially when we're looking at the gambling aspect. And when you get a guy like Robert Whittaker and also Max Holloway at a plus 200 in a scenario where Khamzat still needed to show more of what he is capable of doing, I mean, I understand why people take leaps at those plus 200 bets, including myself. In this situation, the thing that really stood out to me was when Robert Whittaker got inside the octagon. We spoke about this the night of the fights. Rob gets in there and he's pounding on the chest so hard and screaming and yelling and like so ferocious and ready to go. And we were saying how this is exactly like when he got in the cage with Israel Adesanya. The same thing. Over emotion, Robert Whittaker is a problem. It seems like he's so amplified and so hyped up that he goes in there and just gets crushed. And Khamzat capitalized on this situation. So I'm not saying, hey, that wasn't the right Rob Whittaker. Rob wasn't mentally ready for this thing. No, all credit to Khamzat. But I am saying that when you see Rob as amped as he is getting into a cage to fight, as a fan, as a bettor, you better be worried. Okay, so here is Rob Whittaker, a video that popped out, or Red Corner MMA, I guess that's where it came from. It's all over Twitter. And here's what Rob said afterwards. And by the way, the mouth looks fine, but let's hear this.
But how do you feel health-wise? How's your teeth?
I'm alright. Like, it wasn't the jaws, the teeth. The teeth got pushed in. I've always had the kind of like loose teeth, and they got looser.
I always had loose teeth. They got looser. I mean, what are we doing? Why not fix that before you get into the fight? I've always had loose teeth. You're a fighter. I mean, if you have loose teeth, there's really not much the mouth guard is going to do. It's going to get pushed in, right? What are we doing?
Can you remember? Was it him squeezing or was it before?
No, it was the face crank. Like, his forearm just went straight on the bottom tooth. I didn't have a moment to turn the head or anything. It was just on. It was on.
So he's giving credit to the crank. Like I said, I think a couple of the shots leading up might have amplified the situation, but for whatever reason it was, Khamzat Chimaev doesn't have above superhuman strength. It's just a matter of Rob had loose teeth going into this fight, which is crazy to think about, competing with your teeth wobbling around in your head, but whatever. I mean, these guys are tough dudes.
It is what it is.
What I mean is, like, is it just like an unfortunate moment, or is it just like...
I don't know. Like, if I didn't have such vulnerable teeth, maybe I would have had another second to turn my head.
So why are we fighting with loose-ass teeth? I mean, that's the real question, right, Rob? What are we doing here? What are we doing? I understand. Listen, big fight, big opportunity. You want to stop the Khamzat train. I get it. But why are we going into these fights with injuries like that could get stopped in the first round? There's a good chance Khamzat's going to take your back. There's a good chance he's not going to be able to get to your neck, so he's going to wrap his arm around your face and try to crush it. I mean, that's a possibility. So what? I never understood this. Like, fighters just going in there with these weird, strange injuries and saying, well, I had it before the fight. Then fix it. Like, what?
Or maybe not.
What I mean is, like, is it just like an unfortunate moment, or is it just like...
I don't know. Like, if I didn't have such vulnerable teeth, maybe I would have had another second to turn my head. Or maybe not. You know what I mean? It's just... I just got caught in a bad position, and the rest is history.
Happened.
Yeah, it's because the bottom teeth, they're vulnerable. It's my Achilles heel. You know what I mean?
Well, fix the damn Achilles heel. Like, what are we doing?
And I've had them pushed in before when I fought Drickus as well, and they've never really recovered. It was from an injury when I was young. But
okay, so he says it was from an injury from when he was young. Fix the teeth, man. Like, fix the teeth.
I don't know.
So
it's what it is.
So, like, is there any like limitations right now? You cannot eat or anything?
I can eat. It's just probably don't bite into an apple.
I could never figure this out. I don't understand. You have like a pre-existing thing going on. Just fix the damn thing. I mean, you're a fighter, for God's sakes. You're gonna get punched in the face. You're gonna get elbowed in the face. You're gonna get kneed to the face. Like, there's a lot of shots to the face. A mouth guard is not gonna work if your teeth are already fucked up. Anyway. Let's move on over to Sean Strickland. Understand one thing. Now, this is following the fight that happened on Saturday night. I am next in line. It's been said, it's been written. January, February, me, Dricus du Plessis are scrapping. Go back to Chechnya and wait a few months. Wait, sorry, UAE. You're not allowed in Chechnya. But hey, crypto scams while you wait. All right, Sean, I do understand why you're posting this. Robert Whittaker getting smashed by Khamzat Chimaev in the first round. every fan in the world would love to see DDP versus Khamzat. That is the fight to make. That's the fight I posted after when I was watching and seeing everything unfold. I was like, yep, DDP Khamzat, that seems like it makes a lot of sense. Sorry, Sean. Sean reposted this. Knockout of the day. I'm a huge fan of both, but I thought you won this fight. So there we go. There's the images of Sean Strickland and DDP, their faces as the fight progressed, as Sean didn't look too bad, and DDP progressively got worse with the damage. Guys and gals in the comment section, I want you to hash this out because I got to be honest with you. Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis, I mean, take my money. That seems like it's a massive fight. It would have massive buzz. It's fresh, and fresh is very important. I mean, look at Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway, a fresh situation at featherweight. Listen, we want fresh stuff. We don't want the same stagnant matchups. We don't want things that we've seen over and over again. And granted, it was a close fight. Sean Strickland, nah, fight Barallo or something. You waited for nothing. Let this sink in. Max Holloway got knocked out for the first time ever. Am I shocked? No, Ilia's looked very good. I've been very hard on Topuria, and I needed more, had my excuses for the Volk fight. There is no excuses here. I'm not going to say Max is old and Max's chin is finally gone and all that nonsense. I'm going to give Ilia his roses. But listen, this sequence that happened that put Max down and the way he celebrated with the teacup in his mouth, I mean, Ilia's him. Now check this out. We're going to slow-mo this thing. Max looking at Ilia firing with the right, the left off the side of the head, swinging in. One thing I will say about Ilia Topuria, my goodness, this guy's boxing is something else. A lot of people are saying, hey, he packs a lot of power for his little size. And I was kind of thinking that too. But after watching this fight, it's the technique that Ilia has that is very special. And let's talk about someone else that has a lot of technique. Well, at least in their heyday, a guy like Conor McGregor, a guy that Ilia Topuria seems to have mirrored his career and now has amplified it with title defenses. But here's Ilia on the hunt. You got to love the way the guy fights. You say what you will about his cringiness on the mic, and I don't want to make this a Ilia glazing stream. And listen, I was wrong. I was wrong about Topuria. I did not believe in this guy at all. And what's to say about Josh Emmett? I mean, that fight, Josh hung in there. Max, not so much. Max looked good in this fight. He actually looked pretty good. But Ilia made sure it didn't have to go to the judges, regardless of how they were scoring it. So here we go. Ilia's right in front of him in the pocket, not afraid to get down and dirty. And when you're with a guy like Blessed, it's very dangerous, especially after what Max has done in his career. You get down and dirty with Max, he'll make you pay. But Ilia right up in his grill, moving in on Max. Now Max is just moving back, saying, okay, what's going on? He got hit a little earlier in this sequence that we didn't show where it really stunned him and rattled him. So he was already probably hearing a high-pitched sound. But check this out over here. Watch this. Ilia engages. He comes in. He throws the right off the shoulder as Max collides with him. Okay? And then as they collide, Ilia looks Max right into his eyes. And he comes in with this hook. I mean, he doesn't even step into it. It's just literally technique. The way he tightly swings this thing onto the perfect spot on Max's grill. Max goes straight down. I mean, that is a violent left hook. Crack. Boom. Down. It wasn't even like he was already leaning forward, but the technique, the placement was perfect by the Matador. And down goes Max Holloway to the mat. And Ilia pounces. Some were saying that Mark Goddard stepped in a little bit too early. I got to be honest with you. He took a look, and when there was no complaint from Max Holloway, I'll give Mark the benefit of the doubt. Would I have liked to see it go a little longer? Yeah, I like carnage. I like death. I like CTE. I like watching all that stuff unfold in front of my eyeballs, and I picked Max Holloway, so of course. But to be a fair fan and to assess this thing in a logical way, it's a fair stop. This is Paddy Pimblett. Now, you know Paddy and Ilia Topuria have a little bit of history. They got into a weird hand sanitizer situation. I don't know. Anyway, there has been a lot of beef, a lot of back and forth. Now, Paddy's 155. Ilia Topuria is at 145. A lot of people have been saying, hey, we want Ilia to move up. I even put a poll on our community section, and you can go vote there, Islam Makhachev or Ilia Topuria. Right now, Islam is running away with it. I don't think Ilia should go up right now. He's only 27 years of age. You don't have to do it. Conor did this whole let's rush things to become double champ. I think if Ilia stays at 45 and really clears out that weight class, solidifies himself as the GOAT. And listen, this freaking GOAT conversation, I can't stand the GOAT conversation. But when you take out Volk and then Max, two of the greatest featherweights of all time, I mean, you got to start thinking, wow, Ilia is the real deal.
Oh! Heavy. Hand sanitizer boy with the win. Heavy. Well done, Ilia. Give you his due, lad. 6.
He's like one of the few guys that speaks English and you still need subtitles.
Win. Heavy. Well done, Ilia. Give you his due, lad. 16-0. Hand sanitizer boy. Can't wait for him to come back up to lightweight. Still think I'd beat him. I really do. I still think I'd beat him, mad, whether he's just beat Max Holloway or not. I still think I'd beat him, mad, by kicking him on the feet or taking him down or submitting him. I genuinely think I'd beat him, but congrats, Ilia Topuria. Well done, son. Congratulations, lad. Obviously, hand sanitizer boy knocked Holloway out. Didn't see that coming, but give him his due. Good finish. Max was the better boxer, but Ilia's the better swinger, isn't he? And he ended up catching him with them big shots on the button. So, congrats, fella. Can't wait for Vol to come back and beat you up.
Alrighty, let's go to the rankings and see what would be next for Ilia if he decides to stay in the featherweight division. Now, the easy answer is Diego Lopez for me, since he was on standby. Volkanovski, I mean, I guess if you think of what he's achieved in his career, he should maybe get a title. Nah. Nope. He got knocked the fuck out against Ilia Topuria. I mean, listen, you got finished, bro. And when they dragged Volk into the cage after Ilia won, it was so cringe, man. It was like get him out of here. You could tell Volk was like, I probably shouldn't be in here. Like, Ilia was looking at him, was like, bro, I already handled that business. Listen, Volkanovski, I have respect for what he did, but no, wait in line, bro. I know you're number one. I'd hate to see Volk Holloway again, but I think Holloway should move back up to 155. You did what you did at featherweight, and maybe even Volk. Maybe Volk should move up to 155. Listen, they did all they had to do at the 145-pound weight class. So that's what I'm going to go with that, but it doesn't seem like Volk's going to move up. Diego Lopez, I feel, is next. I mean, by a clear mile. Now, you have Movzar, and Movzar is like in limbo, fights falling off, and this Aljamain Sterling. And listen, I guess you can say this. A couple of guys here. Aljamain Sterling, he's sitting at number 9. Aljamain's got to watch this unfold and say, hey, man, listen, Ilia's damn good. I got to find a way to neutralize this guy, and I might have the grinding, grappling approach, even though Ilia's got some pretty good grappling as well. We've seen that a little bit. Maybe Aljo can nullify this. I'm not saying Aljo beats Ilia by any means, but I'm just trying to look at guys that might be of interest. Aljo could possibly go for double champ status. He's got to get through Evlov. And Evlov versus Ilia Topuria, boy, oh boy, that's an interesting matchup as well. So listen, featherweight has gotten a lot more interesting thanks to the matador over here, Ilia Topuria. And I hate the fact that I'm saying this. Here I want to give a shout out to an account called Championship Rounds on X. Go give them a follow. There's a lot of accounts out there that just collect a bunch of clips that revolve around the UFC. And I tell you what, they make it very easy for us to see everything that's going on people's social media and clips of fights and whatever. So go give them a follow over there. A little plug for Championship Rounds. Now, before we go down this rabbit hole, I want to finish this upload with just a little bit of news revolving around UFC 308 and whatever the hell else is going on in the UFC world. So make sure you hit the like button. And before we get into this segment of our video, which is going to be pretty interesting, there's a lot of content that I got to get to in a little bit of time. I want to give that shout out to mybookie.ag. Go on over there and use promo code MMA-HOLES for a 10% match on your first deposit. Do not forget about the risk-free bet that's on Thursday. They drop it on Wednesday. You go over to the Boost Bet section over there, and then you click risk-free bet. You can drop $25. If the bet loses, they put it right back in your account. If it doesn't, if it wins, you get paid. So go to MyBookie, use code MMA-HOLES. Here's a video of Volkanovski congratulating the Topuria family. Let's check this out. All right, so, good respect. Alex Volkanovski seems like a stand-up dude. So shout out to Volk for giving his respect to the Topuria family. Jamal Hill's reaction, this should be cringe.
Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. Holy shit. What a pretty boring fight. Pretty boring, fellas. But I'm gonna be real. I'm always gonna be real whenever it comes to talking about fights. And this fight was boring. It showed a lack of weapons. I'm not gonna say on Rakic's side, because Rakic kind of got into his bag a little bit and kind of showed some of the weapons he has. Showed a lack of weapons on Magomed's end. I'll get into that later. It seems like we probably gonna be on a collision course. Rakic showed a lack of fight IQ, a really real big lack of fight IQ.
I actually agree with that. He's right. Rakic could have, like the way he fought in the first round, if he stuck to a game plan, it would have been boring as hell. He would have got his hand raised.
Magomed is wholeheartedly a counter fighter. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by lack of tools. Lack of tools is being able to come forward and enter things that actually get you forward. That's not something that he's good at doing, which against Alex, now that I'm saying, it's going to be a problem. You're assuming he gets the title shot now. You never know that giving somebody a title shot off of a performance like that. I mean, obviously he's got the resume. He deserves the title shot, but that performance sucked, and I know that they don't like him. So you never know.
Ankalaev is an interesting matchup with Pereira, but he's not a lock. Ankalaev is not the boogeyman right now. Listen, the one thing I will say about Ankalaev, he has incredible fight IQ. That guy over there, he can adjust in the fight and win, get his hand raised. He could do it on the feet. He could do it on the ground. He's a solid fighter, Ankalaev, although I am not quite convinced if he is the guy to beat Alex Pereira after watching him versus Rakic. So we'll see what happens. Dana White at a Trump rally? Nah, we'll pass on that. Okay, here's some sped dancing over here.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Here's Ilia Topuria responding to Volkanovski's request to turn it around quickly and defend that belt against him.
Volk came into the cage afterwards. We spoke to him afterwards, and he was saying he doesn't want to wait that long.
Sorry, but right now he's going to have to wait to my time. Right now I'm the one who chooses the time, the place, and I choose everything. Right now I'm the champion, he's the challenger, so he can take...
And he respected that, yeah.
Yeah, and I respect him too. He deserves the shot. No one else deserves more the shot in the featherweight division than Volk.
Okay. So he's saying no one deserves it other than Volk, so he's down for the rematch. What's up with these Georgians wanting to rematch guys that they know they can beat? Merab Dvalishvili, Sean O'Malley. Oh, speaking of Sean O'Malley, here's Sean's reaction to the finish.
Oh, Ilia just hurt Max bad. This is not gonna, whole 3 minutes, 40 seconds in, Ilia lands a bomb, and Max is still stunned. He's playing it off good. Oh, Max, left hook. Holloway, Ilia finishes Max Holloway with a...
This goes to show you that when we do our fight reactions, we are the premium channel for this, because if you didn't watch us and you were watching these knuckleheads, I mean, what am I listening to? What the fuck kind of commentary is this?
Left hook in round 3. Holy shit. Ilia is that guy. Wow. Who at 145 wants to fight Ilia right now?
You.
I'm a 25er.
Because I'm a 25er.
Or Ilia is just so dangerous the whole fight. He's like a little fucking Alex Pereira. Bro, you can't tell me Islam versus fucking Ilia isn't a fight you'd want to see. Fuck.
What I got to give credit about O'Malley is now that he's been a little humbled with Merab, and even before that, there are guys he says he doesn't want to get in there and fight, that he doesn't want to get beat up. Like Max Holloway says he would never fight Max Holloway. I got to give credit to Sean. If he thinks someone will beat him, he's like, yeah, I don't want to fight that person. So fair play to Sean for that.
That was brutal. God, Ilia's got a sick style. As much as I've talked shit about him, whatever, but he's got he's dangerous everywhere. Oh!
Yeah, so fair play. So there's Sean O'Malley addressing Ilia Topuria. Here's also Sean O'Malley mimicking Conor McGregor's iconic strut back and forth. Every once in a while, the kid pulls it off. He pulls it off, man.
Max, you're a legend. You'll be back. And Ilia, congratulations. Impressive. I'll see you wherever. Madrid. Can you do Madrid next year, early next year? Sydney? Sydney's definitely next year, so that's a date that we know we can do. That would be perfect, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, nothing but the best. Well done to you and your family, and see you early next year, my man.
Do you want to see that? Do you want to see them run them back right away? Let me know.
It's not Dustin Poirier's last fight, but I think if you can be his last fight and get one back, it would be sad, but at the same time, a win for you.
Hey, that'd be nice. The Diamond, sign me up, bro. I love that guy. I got nothing but respect for the guy, but he is up 2-0 against my ass, and I don't have the best luck against people who's 2-0 against me, so I guess I got to try it again. Hey, thank you, guys. You guys going to see me back? It's not a funeral, guys, I promise.
Saying it's not a funeral. He promises he'll be back. Was he 32, 33 years old? Listen, I mean, sounds like he's got still a little bit left in the tank. Here's Dana talking a little bit about Merab and Sean O'Malley, the rematch. Let's see what he thinks.
On that situation.
Umar said that Merab is docking him, but Merab said that he wants to rematch O'Malley either at the end of this year or at the beginning of next year. What's the situation?
Umar.
Whoa! Whoa! Curveball. Dana wants Umar. So you know what that means? Dana realizes that Merab probably has O'Malley's number. Let's let Umar get in there. At least we can capitalize off of the Khabib hype.
That's what I think. Max was trying to take that. I want to say it was like, I don't know, halfway through the second round. I said, shit, we should have put the bad motherfucker title up on this fight too, because these guys are both it.
No, you shouldn't have, bro. You shouldn't have. All right, Khamzat Chimaev's prediction if Sean Strickland rematches DDP.
And if Dricus and Sean end up rematching, who do you think wins?
What?
If Dricus and Sean Strickland end up rematching, who do you think wins?
Like I said before, a couple of days before, I asked that same question to me. So I think I'm going a little bit at Dricus' side because he has a belt, he's filled the money, and maybe he wants to get more money and thinks he's motivated more than Sean. So Sean being there, Sean being in a lot of wars, and I don't think so he wanted so much Dricus. Well, I don't know, but it's like I think, but it could be wrong.
Thank you.
What do you guys think about this Khamzat Chimaev? A pleasant, soft-spoken Khamzat. I'd rather have the I kill everybody.
To get your thoughts on Dricus as a champion, his run so far, and what do you make of his grappling?
What do you think, guys? How I done with this guy, Rob? How he done? Rob took him down. So if Rob took him down, so there is salam alaikum.
Well, he isn't wrong about that. I mean, there's Khamzat playing a little MMA math, but it is true. Rob did take down Duplessis, and Khamzat just ran through Whitaker. Maybe the teeth were looser against Khamzat. I don't know.
Title run looking like? Do you want to clear out the middleweight division, or would you prefer to sort of go up to light heavyweight and challenge Alex Pereira?
Bro, I'm talking about 3 belts from a long time ago, so of course I want to go up. But what Dana White, what the UFC wants, I don't know, man. So
3 belts. Well, the welterweight belt, that ship has sailed. But him going up, I mean, he does look pretty big at 185. It was unbelievable how he could make 170. It looked like he had trouble making 185, so I guess a move up would be inevitable.
That gives me, first I has in my weight class, need to take the belt, so then I gonna think about it as well.
Okay, I don't know what the hell he said. So fair play to Ilia Topuria and Khamzat Chimaev. Those guys have a very bright future, young stars in the game, and it's better for the UFC with the new blood rising up to the top. It shakes things up. It makes things a little bit more interesting. Now the UFC doesn't have to completely latch on to Alex Pereira. And speaking of Alex Pereira, you have him and you have Ilia Topuria. I want to know in the chat, what do you think? Who's fighter of the year? What's next for these guys? And to the people that are crapping on my predictions, I don't care.
Yeah, 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 yeah.